CV is still one of the key recruitment tools used by employers in selection. In this session, we will look at how and why employers use CVs, what they're looking for, and how to build your story effectively before constructing your CV so that the right message comes across. We're going to focus here on a style and methodology for graduate jobs and internships in the UK, although you might find the concepts and thinking needed will be useful at any stage and in any job market. So why do employers want you to send them a CV? There are of course a number of reasons. It's important that companies and organisations have a way of bringing objectivity to what can be seen as a subjective judgment-making process. They need to be able to feel confident that their process is robust and will select the best fit for the job. They can assess each candidate fairly against the job description and person specification. Plus, of course, there does need to be some way of narrowing down the field before the next stage of the process. So how do they do it? Companies consider each role and look at what tasks and functions will be required of the person in the job in terms of knowledge, skills and experience needed. They draw up a job description and a person specification for the role. That provides a selection criteria for the company and they score each CV against this criteria matrix. So you need to go through exactly the same process. So CVs are scored and therefore you need to tailor yours. There's no point in possessing a CV. It's not for you really, is it? It's for the employer, so it needs to match what they want. Think carefully about the job description and the person specification. Analyse what's been requested in terms of all the areas. Then you can begin to gather specific evidence from your background which can demonstrate how you match these requirements. This part of the process really is the key to success. Then we can begin to look at how to construct your CV. Having done your preparation, you're now in a position to build a CV which will focus on matching your story with the job requirements. We've broken the CV up into 3 core blocks which are likely to be common to all and give the foundations on which to build your story. There are then some additional blocks which will add to this foundation, providing additional information from your own bank of evidence to demonstrate further your suitability for the role. The first is relatively simple. It starts the CV, gives straightforward details on how the employer can get in touch with you to find out more and take you on to the next stage of the process. So, name, address, email and phone details. There's no need for anything else. Be careful with your email address to ensure it reads professionally. Do be careful with providing other details, especially things like national insurance numbers or even passport numbers. Please do not put these on your CV. They aren't needed. Our second block is devoted to your education. There'll be differences in people's routes through education, so adapt the advice to fit your own story. Generally, you should begin with your most recent studies and work backwards. But what information is needed? Be clear with the straightforward information, degree title, which university, and perhaps add in your predicted overall grade or current average. But then, you need to give the employer information which shows them that you know what's important about your degree, as it will be of interest and of use to them. Perhaps a quick overview of the course. Is it designed to meet professional standards for a particular industry? Does it offer a blend of theoretical and applied study in your field? Is it specialist, or offer a wide range of understanding? Then you can select evidence from courses and topics to give more of an insight into how what you study fits the role or company. Don't forget the individual projects you've done and the role you played in group projects. These can show how you've applied your knowledge. As we move backwards through your education, we'll come to your school or your university entry qualifications. You can list your Highers or A-levels, the subjects and grades, but don't go into any detail really about your standard grades or your GCSEs, only if they're a requirement for the role. For international qualifications, don't try to translate, just state the exams used for university entry. The third core block covers your experience. Here too, be clear about the company and job that you did. Focus on the impact and the added value that you brought to the role, highlighting any relevant skills. You may want to split this section up if you have related industry-specific experience, for example. The more relevant the experience, the bigger space you should give it. Now we move to those optional blocks, which may be different for everyone. There may be particular technical skills you want to highlight, things that you do in your spare time, clubs, societies, responsibilities that you've had, awards that you've had, or other information that will give a little bit of personality to the CV. Once you're clear about what story you're trying to tell, then we can move on to presentation. Keep it simple, keep it straightforward, but always keep it professional. No mistakes, clear headings, prioritise the order of your information, and the most important information should take up most space. And finally, we need to go right back to the beginning. You remember that matrix? Check against your initial checklist. Have you evidenced everything? Have you met the job and person criteria? Have you thought about your best examples? And is all of it relevant? And finally, remember to come to the career service and get your application checked before you send it. We'll be more than happy to help.